Hello, this video is just for the victims of this guy, and I thought about it. If my friends and family know about this guy, quite a few, know what he looks like, know his name, because in the beginning I had to tell people way before I knew everything. Just a safety precaution, you never know, I might have went missing. But I was thinking about these victims, and there's only two that I know for sure. There has to be more. And I'm not just saying like ones that he, had some sort of connection to. I'm not really sure why he grew a strong connection to me in the first place. Like I said, I think it was the vulnerability and then he just tried to build one. But I'm talking about all the girls that's pissed him off, all the girls that have rejected him, the boyfriends of these girls, the family, the friends, because, surely some people have had some things to say about him. And, given if this was the other way around and all the information that was said, and if a family and friend of mine seen it, they would know right away that it was me. And also another thing, there's no other stalking cases out there that's similar to this. It's very rare. I've looked at local ones throughout Canada, ones throughout the States, ones through like foreign. Like I said, there are some ones that are kind of similar, but not to the point. So point being is if one of his victims or his ex-baby mama, because I remember seeing a photo of him when he was younger with a baby, and I do remember him saying he had kids. So chances are he has one, maybe a few. I don't know. And then there's ex-girlfriends. And then there's his family and friends, and if any one of those people come across my videos, they're going to know right away it's this person because there's no other stalking cases like this. I haven't heard of anybody else that has ever done anything like this. Like not even ones like in newspapers or stuff that has gone to court, like legal stuff, actual stalking cases that went to trial. I'm talking about other people that I know of that have done some pretty crazy stalky behavior, but not to the extreme that this guy has, done. Like I said, it's a whole different level. So if his victims or victims' family comes to this page and they know for sure who I'm talking about, and you're not sure if you want to reach out to me, you want to just take the information in, that's completely fine to me too. The reason why I wanted to reach out to the stalking victims is because they will know more about this guy than what I know. Stuff that I've been trying to find out, whether or not he has like a mental illness, other things that he's done in the past, chances are they do know about. I don't think the one knows because I don't think she was an ex. I think she rejected him. The one that I talk about, apparently she actually was with this guy, so she would know about that stuff. But I did, find someone who does know someone who's closely connected to this guy, so I don't really need, it's not a need, but it wouldn't hurt to connect with the victims at some point if they are willing to. So if you guys, you are more than willing to reach out to me, but I do understand that, maybe what they went through, I don't know what they went through. I don't know what this guy put them through. They might be really skeptical about meeting people online, especially people that are tied to this guy. But what I was going to say is if any of his victims come to this page and you go through my videos and you see how heavily this guy stalked my family and friends, and not just my family and friends, my acquaintances, people I don't even talk to, and how he was trying to tick off every damn person off my page. And eventually, I don't even think it was so much to close in on me. I think it was so, when I eventually did find out, or if, let's say he did kidnap me, which seems really what in the fucking Stockholm syndrome? But let's say in a crazy reality, let's say I was kind of thinking this and I was talking about this with my friends and I was like, is he one of those weirdos that wanted to kidnap me and then he make me go online and talk to all my friends, but really it's just him behind it? And who knows what he would have done, but that's what he was actually doing in real life. He was ghosting me and not talking to me, not engaging with me, and it was really noticeable behavior that made me look into all of this in the first place. That made me be like, what the fuck is going on? It wasn't so much just the engagement, it was just their behavior in general and what they were doing and the things that they were posting and the things I was hearing about people within the city that are connected to all these people, but how they're not online and blah 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 blah. that I just wasn't cluing in. But anyway, sorry, I kind of trailed off there. I just kind of thought that was a funny thought to think about, because it was when we were going through theories of like, if he was to take me alive, if he was to take me unalived, if he was to leave me unalived. We were like brainstorming a bunch of different ones, and you know, now it's kind of in a place where like we have a lot of dark humor around it, and so do I. But you know, since I caught him, yeah, you know, of course we can joke about like, because it happened after, right? Like learning about him trying to ambush me, and just thinking about like the, you know, his motives and his theory, and just how crazy it is how he doesn't even know me. But like my concern is that's when my concern jumped to these girls, and like they could very well not be aware that he's stalking them, and that he could do the same thing, and they have kids. So like, you know, if they watch this, you need to check your friends list. Like, you need to go through it, because this guy was pretending to be my dad, my cousin, a really good friend, you know, and like close people that I would tell personal details to. You know, I would tell them, you know, where my son went to school, what I was doing, where I was working, what I was up to on a daily basis, you know, like not super tons of personal stuff. Some of them more of when I was getting, you know, through my sobriety period and whatnot, you know, I did. There were some of them that were actual real people, but some of them, you know, I was pretty open with a lot of my stuff, because my story about going through my sobriety journey, my addiction, and even now trying to balance my energy, it's good for other people to learn from. And you know, experience is the best teacher. And just like this is my experience, and that's why I'm trying to teach people. But also I want to try and help people, keep people safe. So yeah, I have to emphasize, if you're the victim, or you know, his ex, or even his family member, you know, he might even be stalking his family or his friends, you know, who knows what he did to his family members and friends, besides them not, you know, being around and associating him for what he's done. There's probably other stuff that he's just done to them personally that made them not want to associate with him. So, you know, like, even if you're the stalking victim's friends and family, and you see this and you think this is that, you need to make sure that your friend or family, whoever I talk about, they need to check their stuff, and you need to FaceTime them, because this guy uses voice changers. He can send voice notes. Like on the Snapchat, he was forwarding my friend's voice notes, and I didn't even realize that until I forwarded a voice note to somebody else that was a generic message that I was sending. And when I seen it in that inbox the other day and it had nothing in it, that's when I clued in that that wasn't my friend. And also, when she would send me voice notes, it did sound like, some of them did sound kind of echoey. Like when, you know, when you're on the Snapchat and you're doing the voice note and it looks like the person's talking into a speaker. There was one time she was doing that made me be like, okay, that's her. But when I figured out that that wasn't her behind the account, and I was like, how the fuck did, like, she was talking to me. Well, no, he's got separate devices, so chances are, like I said, like, there's an account of mine out there that he's pretending to be me from. He's collecting my pictures, pretending to be my friend, acting like a, you know, monkey in the middle, sending her stuff, and anything that she gets back, whether it's voice notes, and he knew I was suspicious of that account, so he purposely did that. So there's a good chance that she sent a voice note, and he pressed record on the device that he was talking to me from, and it looked like she was talking into the voice note, because you can easily do that. All you got to do is press record and press play on the fucking voice note. I did it. It's not that hard. It takes, like, yeah, it takes extra time and it's effort, but like, I just, the stuff that I'm busting through and figuring out, this guy has to be like the most fucking biggest idiot in the world, because I keep just figuring it out, like just sitting here, and he's probably just like, how the fuck does she know? So yeah, like I said, if you're the victim, you need to go through your friends list and you have to call them. And if they start to dodge you, you know very well what's up. And guaranteed, he can sound like them. He breaks into people's whole accounts. He can mirror their dialect. He can sound exactly like them. And he does it just to talk to you and to collect your pictures. And yes, there are accounts of yours out there with your account, your pictures being uploaded. So make sure you make a fake account, get somebody else too, because you're most likely blocked from it if you are online, and your friends and family are blocked from it as well.